legislative affairs for the Obama administration. He's also running for Congress in Maryland. Joel, do you think these university presidents should step down?
John, without a doubt, they should step down. This has been a horrific week to be an American Jew, and it's been a horrifying week to be an American and to watch the failure of leaders right now in the face of the scourge of anti-Semitism rising in front of all of us to basically say, this is okay. We can accept language that targets Jews. We can accept language that makes Jewish students feel afraid for their lives on campus. And that might be okay, given a context. Imagine if Russian Americans, for example, were targeted repeatedly because of the invasion of Russia, or imagine if Chinese American students visiting Chinese students were targeted because the Chinese government's suppression of the Uyghurs. It's unacceptable. It's un-American. I can't believe that we're even having this discussion. It's been a horrifying display of failure of leadership, and they don't deserve to stay on in these jobs.
So what you're saying is that these universities, at least in the way they talk, they speak differently about things said about Jews than other minority groups?
Yeah, John, let's be very clear about what is happening right now. There has been a strategic political choice by activists who hate Israel, to be blunt, who really want Israel to disappear, to try to intimidate American Jews into silence, in particular those Jews who speak out in support of Israel. I myself, you look at my Twitter feed, the anti-Semitic attacks against me for expressing even a modicum of empathy for Israel are outlandish. And so this is a choice to try to intimidate and silence through verbal violence. And now, there's always the concern of the threat becoming real, because this is the single worst environment for Jews in terms of our threat level here in the United States since prior to the Tree of Life massacre. And that is frightening. These are moments that leaders need to step up. And the leaders that we saw this past week of these universities have failed the test, and they are now allowing hate speech to flourish as a result.
Again, suggesting that calling for genocide should somehow be protected on campus is one thing. But I do wonder, have you thought about, if you do support the Palestinian cause, not what happened on October 7th, but if you are supportive of the plight of Palestinians in the Middle East, what type of protests or demonstrations do you feel should be permitted on a college campus?
This has been a journey for me professionally and politically, I have to tell you, John. I was the founder of J Street, which is a progressive pro-Israel advocacy organization. I was the Jewish director for the Bernie Sanders presidential campaign in 2020. I've been a longtime voice for Middle East peace, for Palestinian rights and statehood, even now throughout this period of the war between Israel and Hamas, consistently calling for aid to the Palestinians and a two-state solution. But voices like mine are getting destroyed by people to the hard left who don't want these voices, don't want the broad middle, those of us who are fighting for peace. They want an elimination strategy. And so we have to continue to call for peace and partnership, but we have to push those voices outside the tent of normal dialogue. They are not looking for dialogue. They're looking for elimination. And it's depressing as an American and an American Jew who's been fighting for peace for years to have to say this. But this is what we're looking at right now. And I think this is a moment of decision for leaders, and they have to decide, what side are they on? Are they on the side of peace, or are they on the side of hate? And this past week, what we saw on Capitol Hill with that testimony, unfortunately showed the latter one with these presidents.
Joel Rubin, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Fred?
All right.